I can remember coming down here with my grandfather, my grandmother. Going into the courthouse, to me, it was a very moving experience because I come from a very small town, and that was like a huge building to me as a kid. It was pretty overwhelming at the time.
Like most people in Montrose, I've got very fond memories of the courthouse, both of the friends and coworkers that have worked there over the years. When my children were born, that's where their birth certificates were issued, and when my wife and I got married many years ago at this point, that's where we went for our marriage certificate. And I think a lot of the community's history is woven into that building in much the same way.
This project is important to the county for two things. One, the county is judged on the buildings that they have, and another, we can service people better if we have everybody in one building.
It also houses the county's core functions, the assessor, clerk, treasurer.
Some of the challenges facing the courthouse right now is ADA. There's a lot of work to be done to make sure it's compliant for all citizens of the community.
This project will also address the ADA compliance issues. We have a building with multiple staircases with a pretty wore-out elevator system, so this will allow people to get access to all floors of this building.
These are basic public services provided by counties in Colorado and throughout the nation. They have to have an adequate facility to operate out of to provide the best possible service to the public.
The efficiencies will be bringing the finance department and administration, HR, into the same building so we can work as a tight-knit group along with our attorneys.
There are a lot of efficiencies in play when you're dealing with a 100-year-old building. There's some period authentic plumbing, electrical, HVAC, and lack of insulation in the building as it stands now. We can modernize all of those features and also bring the top 2 floors of the building from being vacant back into use for the public. The next steps moving forward are going to be getting a really firm price estimate and then really weighing the financing of the building and timing of proceeding with the project.
The next steps to moving forward with the project is to get financing, put it into play, and get contractors in here and start the project.
It's really an effort to decide the future of what's probably the most historic building in Montrose County. If we are going to keep this building in public use, we either have to put some significant renovations into place to make it good for another 100 years, or we're going to have to look at housing some of our core functions, the clerk, assessor, treasurer, elsewhere. And those are both realistic outcomes from this process, but we want to be mindful of the history of the structure as well as the cost to the public. And so we're in the process of working with our consultants, engineers, architects, etc., to make sure we make the best decision on behalf of the public and the county.
We're looking at doing this after the election of 2020, possibly 2021.